India, a land of vibrant colors, rich history, and unparalleled diversity. It is a nation pulsating with life, a tapestry woven with intricate threads of tradition and modernity. Yet beneath this vibrant exterior lies a stark reality, a world of stark contrast where millions grapple with poverty, inequality, and a lack of basic necessities. This is the India rarely seen in glossy travel brochures, the India of the marginalized and forgotten, the India where survival is a daily struggle. From the bustling metropolises to the remote villages, the story of India is one of resilience and despair. In the heart of Mumbai, towering skyscrapers cast long shadows over sprawling slums, a constant reminder of the chasm between the haves and the have-nots. In the villages of Uttar Pradesh, farmers toil under the scorching sun, their livelihoods at the mercy of erratic monsoons and fluctuating market prices. The faces of India are etched with hardship, their stories a testament to the human spirit's ability to endure even in the face of adversity. This essay delves into the harsh realities of life in India, exploring the challenges that confront millions daily. It is a journey into the heart of a nation grappling with complex issues, a quest to understand the lives of individuals who navigate a world of inequality and deprivation. Through their stories, we gain insights into the broader social and economic issues that plague India, issues that demand urgent attention and collective action. We will journey through the labyrinth of poverty, witness the crippling effects of inadequate infrastructure, and confront the deep-rooted inequalities that permeate Indian society. This is not a tale of despair, but a call to action, an invitation to understand and engage with the realities that shape the lives of millions. Poverty in India is not merely a statistic. It is a lived experience that permeates every aspect of life. It is the gnawing hunger in a child's belly, the despair in a mother's eyes as she struggles to feed her family. It is the absence of opportunity, the lack of access to basic necessities, education, healthcare, and even clean water. In the slums of Mumbai, families huddle in makeshift dwellings, their lives circumscribed by the lack of space, sanitation, and security. The stench of open sewers permeates the air, a constant reminder of the precariousness of their existence. Every day is a struggle for survival, a relentless battle against hunger, disease, and the indifference of a system that has failed to provide for its most vulnerable citizens. In the rural heartland, farmers grapple with the vagaries of nature, their livelihoods dependent on unpredictable rainfall and fluctuating market prices. A single bad harvest can spell disaster, pushing families further into the abyss of debt and despair. The lack of access to credit, modern farming techniques, and government support leaves them trapped in a cycle of poverty that is difficult to break. The stories of these individuals, their struggles, and their resilience paint a poignant picture of poverty in India. India's rapid economic growth has failed to translate into adequate infrastructure for all. While gleaming new airports and highways showcase the nation's progress, millions still lack access to basic amenities, electricity, clean water, and sanitation. This infrastructure gap is not merely an inconvenience, it is a barrier to progress, a daily struggle that undermines the quality of life for millions. In rural India, villages remain unconnected by proper roads, hindering access to markets, healthcare, and education. The lack of electricity restricts opportunities for small businesses and limits children's ability to study after sunset. Water scarcity is a perennial problem, forcing women to trek for miles to fetch water, often contaminated for their families. The lack of proper sanitation facilities poses a severe health risk, particularly for children. Open defecation contaminates water sources, leading to the spread of diseases. The absence of adequate infrastructure is not just a developmental challenge, it is a human tragedy that perpetuates poverty and undermines the potential of millions. Education, the cornerstone of individual and societal progress, remains a distant dream for millions of Indian children. While the Right to Education Act guarantees free and compulsory education for all children up to the age of 14, the reality on the ground is far from ideal. In rural areas, schools are often understaffed, poorly equipped, and located far from children's homes. The lack of quality education perpetuates a cycle of poverty, denying children the opportunity to break free from the constraints of their circumstances. For many children, the need to contribute to the family income takes precedence over education, forcing them into child labor. In urban slums, children face different challenges. Overcrowded classrooms, inadequate learning materials, and a lack of qualified teachers hinder their ability to learn. The lure of street life and the need to supplement family income often lead to children dropping out of school. The promise of education remains unfulfilled for millions, their potential stifled by a system that fails to provide them with the tools they need to succeed. In India, access to quality healthcare often depends on one's economic status. While private hospitals boast world-class facilities, the vast majority depend on a public healthcare system that is overburdened, understaffed, and ill-equipped for a vast and diverse population. For those living in poverty, even a simple illness can spell financial ruin. The high costs of treatment, medicines, and transportation turn healthcare into a luxury they can hardly afford. Additionally, the lack of awareness about preventive healthcare and the prevalence of traditional beliefs often delay treatment, leading to complications and increased healthcare costs. In rural areas, the situation becomes even more dire. The scarcity of hospitals and qualified medical professionals forces people to travel long distances for treatment, often incurring significant expenses. The lack of access to essential medicines and the prevalence of communicable diseases make healthcare a constant challenge for millions in rural India. India's social fabric is woven with deep-rooted inequalities that permeate every aspect of life. The caste system, a hierarchical social division based on birth, continues to influence social interactions, economic opportunities, and access to basic necessities. Discrimination based on caste remains a harsh reality for millions, especially in rural areas. Dalits, formerly known as untouchables, face social exclusion, economic deprivation, and violence. They are often denied access to education, healthcare, and even basic amenities like water and sanitation. The persistence of caste-based discrimination is a stain on India's social conscience, a stark reminder of the challenges that lie ahead in the quest for equality. Beyond caste, other forms of social inequality persist. Gender discrimination denies women equal opportunities in education, employment, and political participation. Religious minorities often face prejudice and discrimination, hindering their ability to live with dignity and security. The deep divide of social inequality is a pervasive reality in India, a challenge that demands sustained efforts to create a more just and equitable society. Gender inequality is a deeply entrenched problem in India, manifesting in various forms, from discriminatory cultural norms to economic disparities and violence against women. Despite progress in certain areas, women continue to face significant challenges in accessing education, healthcare, and economic opportunities. The preference for sons over daughters remains prevalent in many parts of India, leading to sex-selective abortions and female infanticide. Girls are often denied equal access to education and healthcare, limiting their life choices and opportunities. The patriarchal mindset that permeates society perpetuates gender stereotypes and restricts women's roles within the confines of the home. Violence against women, including domestic violence, sexual assault, and honor killings, remains a pervasive issue. The lack of adequate legal protection and social support for victims further exacerbates the problem. Gender inequality is a silent struggle that undermines the well-being of millions of women, hindering their potential and contributing to a cycle of disadvantage that is difficult to break. Child labor, a stark reality in India, deprives millions of children of their childhood, education, and a chance for a brighter future. Poverty, lack of access to education, and social inequalities force families to send their children to work, often in hazardous conditions. In urban areas, children can be found working in factories, workshops, and as domestic help. They are exposed to long hours, physical abuse, and exploitation. The lack of proper sanitation, ventilation, and safety measures puts their health at risk. In rural areas, children work alongside their families in agriculture, often handling dangerous tools and pesticides. The physical and emotional toll of child labor is immense. It deprives children of their right to education, play, and a carefree childhood. The long-term consequences are even more severe, trapping children in a cycle of poverty and limiting their opportunities for a better future. Despite legal prohibitions, child labor remains a persistent problem in India, a stark reminder of the challenges in enforcing laws and protecting the rights of the most vulnerable. Climate change, a global crisis, poses a significant threat to India's fragile ecosystem and the livelihoods of millions. Rising temperatures, erratic rainfall patterns, and frequent extreme weather events are already impacting agriculture, water resources, and coastal communities. Farmers in India, heavily reliant on monsoon rains, are facing increasing challenges due to unpredictable weather patterns. Droughts and floods are becoming more frequent, leading to crop losses and economic hardship. The melting of glaciers in the Himalayas threatens the water security of millions downstream. Coastal communities are facing the brunt of rising sea levels, leading to erosion, saltwater intrusion, and displacement. The impact of climate change is not just an environmental concern, it is a human tragedy that exacerbates poverty and inequality, threatening the very fabric of Indian society. Despite the myriad challenges, the spirit of India shines through. The resilience of its people, their unwavering determination to overcome adversity, offers a glimmer of hope amidst the harsh realities. From the bustling metropolises to the remote villages, stories of courage, innovation, and community spirit abound. In the slums of Mumbai, community organizations are working tirelessly to empower residents, providing access to education, healthcare, and livelihood opportunities. In rural areas, farmers are adopting sustainable farming practices, conserving water, and diversifying their crops to adapt to climate change. Across the country, individuals are rising to the challenge, using their skills and resources to make a difference. Social entrepreneurs are creating innovative solutions to address poverty, inequality, and environmental degradation. Educators are working to bridge the education gap, empowering children with the knowledge and skills they need to succeed. Healthcare workers are tirelessly serving the needs of the community, providing essential care to those who need it most. The harsh realities of life in India demand urgent attention and collective action. Addressing the challenges of poverty, inequality, and lack of access to basic necessities requires a multi-pronged approach, involving government initiatives, civil society engagement, and individual responsibility. Investing in education, healthcare, and infrastructure is crucial to breaking the cycle of poverty and creating opportunities for all. Empowering women through education, economic opportunities, and legal protection is essential to achieving gender equality and unlocking their full potential. Addressing the root causes of social inequality, including caste-based discrimination, requires sustained efforts to promote social inclusion and justice. Protecting children from exploitation, including child labor, demands stricter law enforcement and the creation of alternative livelihood opportunities for families. Mitigating the impacts of climate change requires a concerted effort to promote sustainable development, conserve natural resources, and build resilience in vulnerable communities. The journey towards a more just and equitable India is long and arduous, but the spirit of its people, their resilience and determination, offer hope that a brighter future is within reach. It is a call to action, an invitation to join hands and work towards bridging the gap between India's promise and its reality.